Good evening. Good evening. Good evening to.
Good timing.
We're recording. They
Mr.
started the
Lane.
meeting.
Good evening to the February 1,
Okay. Let's see.
2024 meeting of the Planning Board of the Village of Dobbs Ferry. We had a long agenda on our calendar, but it has been getting shorter and shorter as people have asked for deferment.
So the only thing left on the agenda is 107 Ashford. You're the only one.
Well, we must be doing something right.
All right. Yeah, just for the record, Moulton Avenue with continuation of public hearing was adjourned until March 7. Lyman Place, continuation of pre-sub was,
Well, I think this one, I mean, it's still pre-submission, so if you have any comments on the architecture, I mean, they, ultimately, they'll need a preliminary plat to get to the public hearing, but I don't know if you have any comments on
Oh,
anything
did-
else on this.
For which project?
did
11 Lyman.
Yeah, if they're prepared to present it.
Christina, did you
I'm
want
sorry?
to talk about 11 Lyman?
yeah, I will, okay.
I can tell you that.
Thank you.
We didn't get the preliminary.
Christina Griffin, architect. We didn't get the preliminary plat in time.
Just a second. I move to open the
Sorry.
public hearing.
Or,
The meeting.
Meeting.
oh, the meeting?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Sorry.
So regarding 11 Lyman, the only reason why we adjourned is simply because we didn't have, we weren't able to get the preliminary plat in time, and we had said that we would provide that before we can have a public hearing, so we decided just to adjourn.
Okay.
But Christina, can I just say, like, I did look at
Yeah.
the, I mean, since you're here, we can talk about this. I think,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No.
You shouldn't, because there are people who would want to be here if it weren't.
can I give some advice to the applicant
Sure.
It was on tonight.
without discussing the content? We had, in the last time, we had requested a kind of street view that would show the houses, the existing houses in context, and then side of your house. I saw there was a 3D rendering that was submitted, but that's not
We-
what we were
Yeah,
envisioning.
I had it prepared for tonight.
Okay.
Because it's not easy to take a still shot that looks good. So I was going to show you the SketchUp model here. I have an aerial view.
Perfect.
So
No worries.
I guess I could submit it for you to look at before the next meeting,
That would be good if you
if
could.
you like. Okay.
I also have a comment.
And Rob, I changed my mind, knowing that this was just canceled like 10 minutes ago,
Oh.
or whatever, when an email came in.
Oh, so we can talk
So-
about it.
Well,
It was on the
I'm just saying,
agenda.
people that
No, we
that
should,
were
I
interested
agree.
would have been here.
Right, I think we should not get into it, but I just wanted to,
Yeah.
Can I also make another comment, only because it relies on your next presentation possibly, is that the contractor, I'm sorry, the builder, what is he doing as far as the landscaping? Are we going to see a plan of the perimeter of the property and the conditions that exist now?
For 11 Lyman,
Yeah.
there's a landscaping plan
Yeah, there was a landscape
and a
plan
planting
submitted.
plan, yes.
Huh, okay. I apologize. I need to look at that. I don't have it.
We'll make sure it's resubmitted so you can see it.
But you did a elevation, like a street elevation on both sides of the street. Is that what
no,
you're looking for? Or?
that's good.
Yeah.
But as somebody, I think, commented,
We
that's
said-
not the way you see buildings.
Gotcha.
And so we requested a kind of
Yes.
oblique view,
Guess we changed
We're
it.
providing it, yes.
a kind of photo simulation, which you're working on, so
Yes.
I figured.
Okay.
So where are we?
Well, we're here right now.
Yeah. All right.
So you here for 11 Lyman? Yes. So the public hearing has been canceled until next month.
Well, it wasn't a public hearing, it was still pre-submitted.
Oh, pre-submission, sorry.
They needed one more piece of paper that they didn't have ready, so.
Next. Sorry about
We've
that.
read, have you said, you sent in correspondence? If you did, we read it. I mean, we read all of the content. I mean, you should still present it, but I'm saying we've been following the correspondence.
Next time it will be pre-submission also. So you wouldn't be able till they call for a public hearing if it's good for next time.
So next month is still pre-submission?
Yes, correct.
I'll pay attention to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christina, one other issue related to 11 Lyman, is replacing the retaining walls part of the scope? They're in really bad shape, that's why. Okay. They do. Yes, they, according to the survey, they are on the property, and they are in terrible condition. Thanks.
Okay, the next
Thank you.
Next item on our agenda, I believe, is 2 Castle Hill Close, continuation of pre-submission conference. This application is adjourned to the March 7, 2024 meeting. We adjourn that, or do we need a motion on that?
You just need a motion, you needed a motion on 6 Molten. I don't
Okay.
know if you did that.
All right.
Yep.
On 6 Molten, the motion is to adjourn it to the next meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Castle Hill closed. I move that we adjourn it to the next meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Sorry.
327 Ashford, continuation of submission conference for proposed removal of a lot. This application is adjourned to the March 7. Move that we adjourn it to the March meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, here's one, let's try. 107 Palisade Street, continuation of pre-submission conference for proposed subdivision of existing lot for construction of a new residence.
Excuse me.
Strangest meeting I've ever seen.
I don't we ever had one that only had one item on it.
Okay.
What'd you meeting with?
Stuff on the wall.
Another one, I have one, it's four, gets in your 5,000 miles on it, still runs great. I'm like, it ain't broke.
But there's certain big ideas.
If you want to do.
I'm perfect, I use it as a trial, basically. My seats is rough and cheap, I'm not gonna buy new.
We didn't say take it.
This has to be.
Let me know. Be there.
Oh, okay.
Got a new alternator.
So it does.
Excuse me, sir.
Because you can buy like 6,
Are you here for 11 Lyman?
you know.
That's going to be on the next meeting. Yeah. You are.
Good night.
I'll need
Okay. I think we should meet with all staff. Just go through everything. The bigger the better. How big is the room and how many sitting? We're going to be watching that one scene.
Right. Maybe I can email him.
Okay.
And when you're saying all staff, you Lori Lee and
You know, it's good to either project it or do something that big, so you can then walk up and see.
Yeah.
Looks like that's about 36 by, over 48.
Oh, you know what, the other thing is, he has like, I think it's about weekly or bi-weekly, like, has a staff meetings, maybe we can, right, like, after the staff meeting, having a couple people stay.
Look at it.
maybe show up.
Yeah.
I'll email.
I mean, I think it's 16 by 9 format.
No, like,
I'm doing boards.
Beyond the same way. Okay.
Oh, we'll see how nice it is.
So much better.
What are you talking about?
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Christina Griffin, architect. I'm here with Karen Schuback, she's the project architect, and actually the owners are here, Richard and Teresa Lorenz. We're here to show you, this is our second meeting, and what we'd like to do is take you through some of the changes we've made in response to comments. We're going to move on, start with, I think, the site plan, or we can review the images of the site that we have that were presented last time, just as a reminder. This is a subdivision, and we are planning to put a two-family house on this open property here to the right. The house, there's an existing three-family house, 3 units in this house, and all the parking is in the back. We received a zoning variance for a minor problem with being over the impervious surfaces on this lot. And, but on the new lot, which we're calling Lot B, it is the proposed house and development of the site, including impervious coverage, is all conforming. In fact, as a condition of the approval, all the pavement will be pervious paving. And here is our latest site plan. We're showing the same plan as before, except a few changes. We have extended the driveway towards the back, and we've also increased the turnaround on the south side of the house. And this is in response to concern about having more comfortable turning radii and maneuvering of cars in and out of the parking area and the garage. We're going to show you later, the civil engineer has provided diagrams to show how that works. We haven't submitted this yet, but we're only bringing it to the meeting tonight to show you we're responding. And also, if you look at our zoning chart, there is a minor change. Because we've increased those paved areas, we have increased the impervious coverage, but we're still under the maximum allowed for this site in this district, the MDR2.
Once again, all the paving would be pervious pavers.
But also, yeah, all the pavement will be pervious. I guess we wanted to add to the streetscape because we did not have, we just decided to look at the Palisade plan, and there's a vision plan, and there's a lot of discussion in that plan about the houses, especially ones across the street. So we just had a closer look and decided to add a few of these houses to our streetscape, just so there's an understanding of the kind of architecture and style and massing scale that exists. We know that across the street there are the houses are similar in that they're mostly 2 and 2.5 stories high with porches. On the other side, there's a great variety, starting with the church on one end and going up to, 4-story high buildings. But our goal is to create a new building that is more in keeping with the traditional architecture on the street. This is our site plan. This is actually the basement plan, which is also showing how the building fits on the site. We've designed this building so that all the cars are tucked underneath in a garage, concealed from sight as much as possible, with 2 open parking spaces for the unit, for the smaller unit. This is a 2-family house. The 2-car garage will belong to the larger unit, which is 2,000, I think, 300 square feet, and 2,337 square feet, and it's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. And also on this level, right off of the garage, there will be we've decided to use it as a home gym that will also belong to that larger unit. So when you enter this building, there's a porch, common entry with a stair. There's a door leading to the gym in the garage that belongs to the owner of the larger unit. All the mechanical space is down below. Next, floor plans. We have like 2 units kind of piggybacked where you have the smaller unit facing the front and the larger unit in the back. The front unit is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath unit that will be a rental, and the other one in the back will be owner occupied. 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths on the 3rd floor, and open kitchen, dining, living room on the 2nd floor. So the living areas start at the 2nd floor. So both units have the 2nd and the 3rd floor, and the 1st floor is used for the gym, garage, and then parking area. Up on the roof, we have a bulkhead. We have changed the layout of the floor plans and the elevations so that the bulkhead is now tucked into the middle of the building so that it wouldn't be very visible from the street. And then the roof deck also is tucked into the roof line, which we'll show you in a minute. We've designed the house to be traditional in the front. We have, in this scheme, we'll have 2 schemes so far with a bay window in the front, try to, give the house a bit of the kind of charm that you see on the houses on the street. Bay windows, muntins are in the windows. We have open porch, a little stone on that porch, and then combination of lap siding and vertical siding. On the sides of the house, we have introduced gable roofs to interrupt this very long building. There's a jog when you leave the front and then go to the north elevation. And the concept for this design is to take the roof and have it integrated, and have it in one design as was discussed at the last meeting. We've taken the roof line, wrapped it all around the house. So we have a common roof slope at all the gables, and then we have a lower roof slope at the shed roofs. The east elevation so this is the west, we're facing, I'm sorry, this is east, I think. This is facing Palisades, mislabeled. And this north elevation is the big entry into the garage. That is where everybody enters the parking areas. And then down below is the rear elevation facing west that has the garage underneath, a deck off the 2nd floor. For the rear unit, we have the 3rd floor with a bedroom and bath on that level and a deck. This roof deck is now designed so it really tucks into the roof line, as it is not very visible. We had a challenge with that last time, and we decided to keep it very quiet. So on the south elevation, part of that roof is actually is a railing that has a roof deck behind it. We have introduced these gable roofs to break up the length of the building, and 2 different siding types. 2 siding types, lap siding, vertical, board and batten, and then on the lowest level, stucco. Pardon?
And this is the sheet for
Yes. And then on these are the sheet for materials. I think I went through them already. I just want to point out that the bulkhead is tucked in behind, and in the middle of the building, so and way in the back, so it's much less of an object and much less visible. I think I have already gone through most of the materials. We have a little bit of at the porch roof and at the roof that it is over, extends in the front, we have standing seam metal roofing. We have also modified our landscaping plan to show that a list of deciduous shrubs, we were missing that, and that is response to a comment we received. As you see, the idea is that at the front of the house, they have a nice kind of residential scale of lawn and landscaping, and all the cars are tucked in and concealed underneath the building in the back. There's also a hedge. This is also a privacy screen that we submitted with our zoning variance drawings as I think it was a condition to provide more privacy because of the lack of setback between the parking area at the house at the existing house next to the new property line.
We also added tree valuation charts for comments.
Yeah, up on the left is our tree evaluation calculations showing that the aggregate area of the diameter of the new trees is more than 66%, which is more than the 50% minimum required, so it's compliant with the tree valuation regulations. We're going to show you just briefly the civil engineering drawings. I think this is the same as before, but we have now going to show you the circulation. Is it?
This is their modified drawing for the, Hudson might be on the Zoom call, I'm not sure if they are. But this is modified to show that turnaround space that was added, and associated details, and then they've provided, as had been requested, vehicular turning diagrams to access the parking spaces.
And I think that's the extent of our presentation for tonight. Happy to hear your questions, comments, please.
So, since I was so vocal about the previous scheme, this is like 100 times better. Like, I think we're dealing with something now that kind of looks like it's one building, and kind of like I can definitely see how this can work. So I have but several kind of design ideas and suggestions about things. It would almost be easier. Is it okay for me to come up and actually point to things at the screen? So one of them is that I think it would be interesting to try and whether or not this could work across the whole side. I think that it could work.
We're limited in terms of the width of it because it projects into the setback. You're limited to be less than half of the dimension of the facade, I believe.
For the
porch.
For the porch, is that right?
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Even with because the design guidelines we did for the street.
Some of it is exempt from the setback for a porch.
You're only limited.
Porch, I thought, I mean, my understanding of the code is that you're in the front setback and you're not allowed to be more than half the width of the facade.
Okay.
Yes.
I would support a variance around that.
Or a waiver.
Huh?
We would go for that.
It would work across the street, so I won't speak to myself. Second thing, I think that it's weird what's and you can figure out a way. I see in
Is this thing sitting behind an existing house?
No, it's
Next to the house.
here, Steve, it's here.
It's the side.
This is the existing house.
Oh, it's the side yard,
It's in
okay.
here,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay. That's clear. Thank you.
This looks like something that's sort of tacked on.
Well, that's still too bad.
And that's very strange.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna ask them if they can throw in a redesign of 111, you know.
The other thing
along
is,
with the-
I really like the idea of trying to break this thing down to other pieces, but I think what's important, and what's not clear from
There's an exception for stairs.
is I think those have to correspond to some actual change in the massing of the building. That
Okay, no.
that has to be, it doesn't have to be a lot necessarily, but I think when these things, when you change materials and on the same plane, it makes the whole thing look kind of like wallpaper.
We're exploring that.
Okay. And then if you go to the other elevation, I think that when you do something, usually in a house, the reason that's there is because there's some other house. So I think if you do something like this, where you cut out underneath, it kind of undermines that. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but I think there has to be some kind of expression here of the beam to feel like it's supporting.
I think that's just a mistake. I mean, yeah, we want to do that, and noted. We will fine tune that.
Because it looks
Yes.
a little weird for you. I mean, I think it needs, I think those things are supposed to feel like they're these masses that are supported by something. I'm sure it's easily within your architectural vocabulary to figure out how to do it. And then the last thing is I've become really sensitive, and I can't see again this, and I've become really sensitive to this in not just this building, but a lot of new buildings are getting built, including, the new mixed-use building, which I think is great, by the way. I think it's a great building. But the window systems they're almost in the same plane as the wall. So there's no shadow line. You don't get the sense of a punched window because the windows, the actual glazing is so close to the surface of the wall that there's no shadow. This doesn't end up casting any kind of shadow. And so it makes the wall look very unsubstantial. So I don't know if you've done your section, like a detail through the windows yet, but I think when you do, if you could, I'm sure it's a little bit more expensive, but if the windows could be set back in a way that creates a real punched shadow look, I think that would be
Agreed.
great.
You
I
know,
think that works because we were looking to thicken the walls here to
Yeah, yeah.
really, increase the
the
thermal
thermal
value.
envelope. You know, Rob, we have done details that aren't always built the way we've drawn.
Yeah.
And I think you guys know that. So when you, I'm not saying that's going to happen with this project, but I think when we did like all the details for Cedar Commons, we're happy to provide that at an early stage to make sure that's in the approved set. Because sometimes so much time passes when things are built and people want to cut costs, and some of the nice details that we really want to see are thrown out.
Right. So anyway, I think it's a huge improvement. I can totally imagine this, for me, it could work if you would consider some of these other
Sure,
things.
no problem. We're actually totally on board with these items.
And I would also support a waiver of that front porch issue if it
Yeah.
looked nicer and
Me too.
Yeah.
worked better with the street.
And if that comes from the planning board, that should help us get.
I don't think you have to. I think we can waive it, right? Yeah?
Oh, is that right?
They could issue a waiver.
We're
Wow.
into the setback.
I'll let the power go to your.
Power.
The depth of the front porch would be the same restrictions as per the code about stepping into the setback? Is that, like, there's a limit on how deep it could go into the setback? Would that,
What do you, did you go to the site plan?
we're into, yes.
How deep is the porch actually meant to be something where you could actually put a chair if you made it longer, or is it just a
Is it into the
symbolic?
setback?
I showed us, it looks like it's 5 feet here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Setback, which I believe was the limit. I think that's what we kept it there.
So
Actually,
that's
the
big
porch
enough
is
to be a
6
real
feet.
porch.
But isn't there,
The porch is 6 feet, actually.
it's 6 feet, isn't there a context type setback in the front?
There's a prevailing, we're following,
prevailing?
yeah.
What is it, prevailing?
16.6.
Oh, I see, but that's.
Or setback a foot to be able to go into.
I see.
And then also the
So
porch,
it's 6
a
foot,
certain
but
amount of the
5
porch
foot
doesn't count towards
the amount that
coverage.
they're
I guess,
going over.
increasing the
Since
width
it's
of the
a
porch, it would then count towards coverage.
Well, we would waive, I mean, whatever it takes to make it, I think it would be a
Okay,
real
great.
improvement. I I think it could be probably just a straight
Yeah.
thing, or maybe straight with a peak. Yeah.
Maybe we keep the gable as part of it?
Uh-huh.
Maybe we just a shed?
That's great.
I'm so glad you gave us a waiver, because actually we wanted to do that, but, you know,
Oh, really?
the unit in the front is really only 1,300 square feet, and the unit in the back is 2,300. So, you know, for a two-bedroom and a three-bedroom, you can't make it much smaller.
Mhm.
That's our goal.
Mhm. Good.
Does the board think we're ready for a public hearing?
This particular, I mean, this particular application also is requesting a subdivision, so this one will also need a preliminary plat as well.
Yeah, we
we're
have it
working on it.
started, but we haven't received it yet.
Okay, so, I mean,
What are the parcels that are being joined, are there two parcels that are being merged? or
Yeah.
something?
yes, it's actually a subdivision. Can you explain to the, Rob was asking a question about the
What
subdivision.
is the actual subdivision? I thought this was just this.
Sorry, so this red line here, the dark
Uh-huh.
red line in the middle is the.
Oh, it was all one property?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
The
I
existing
got it.
house with an outline.
Okay.
We could definitely have the plat drawing by the next meeting if that would allow it to be a public hearing.
So, Dan, they said they potentially could have the plat for the next meeting. What do you want to call for it? And if they don't have it, then we just adjourn it? What do you think?
I mean, you know, I don't think we've done that, but,
It's up.
you know, it's up to you guys. I mean,
I mean,
it's not prohibited, you know, but,
whether they have the plat or not, does not involve how it looks, which is what most people are gonna be commenting on, right?
well, you want, the plat's gonna be one of the key things that the public looks at.
Uh-huh.
So they're gonna want to, you're gonna want them to see the actual plat as opposed to, you know, a drawing. or,
Gotcha, okay.
all the notes and everything that goes on it.
I mean, it'll be ready for when you have the submission deadline.
Yeah, we would have had it this meeting, except that we're working with a surveyor who was out, had surgery and was out. So we would have had it for this meeting. We would definitely have it for next meeting.
I feel like the project is far enough along that I'm comfortable calling for a public hearing.
You are not?
I am.
You are going?
Yeah, me too.
As long as the design discussion will still be open.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, I think it's, yeah.
all right, I move we call for a public hearing in our next meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And also, if you can just take a look at our comments, you know, and respond to those as well as, I think, did you have any comments?
We didn't have any new comments.
Okay.
We'll take a look at the traffic movements that are also gonna be submitted for the next meeting, and we'll finish up our review on the stormwater calculations when I fight through it. Can you throw in some ideas about redesign of 111 Palisades? Just
Which
joking.
one is that? Is that the one? Is that the one immediately
To the right?
Why? That's really a work of art. Maybe but when enough time goes by, buildings like that become cool.
Part of the landscape.
Yeah, they become.
Optimist.
So, so just for this board, so even though we're gonna have the public hearing, a lot of times we typically have like a resolution ready, but there still is additional reviews that need to be done, so the resolution might have to wait. Like,
But at least we'll get the process
Oh,
going.
yeah.
So just my question to the whole matter is, if they don't receive the plat by the next meeting, we're still going forward?
I think we'd have to adjourn it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we could open it, my suggestion would be open it and adjourn it.
Yeah,
Okay,
next meeting, yeah, yeah.
But this
Okay.
way they don't lose a month in case they have it.
right, but they would still present, and we could, as part of pre-submission, right?
Yeah.
If she, right.
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
hope so, I would think so, right,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
good.
all right. Okay.
Good.
Are we set?
Yeah.
Was that the last item?
125
First
Bel Air, do you have to mention it into the
No,
record?
I'll mention, I'll mention that it's not going to be 125 Bel Air. My notation is that the application has been referred to the Board of Trustees, so
Which is,
given that,
That's,
Move we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I have just a couple of quick announcements for this board. So just at last meeting, if you recall, we did have like a recommendation that was still pending dealing with the affordable housing fees. And I think at this point in time, the board has removed that from their consideration in terms of they're doing some additional research or whatever. So that's why that's not on the agenda. And then the zoning recommendation or that you were reviewing for the zoning changes, if you recall, there was supposed to be a meeting last month that got canceled. So it is going to be on the village board agenda for February 13th. If you're,
And which of the items that then will be covered?
that's going to be the
Is
steep
that-
slopes,
okay.
yes, that's the
Is
big
there anything
one.
else?
And some
Cleanup.
tweaks, yeah, mostly cleanup and then some tweaks with the tree preservation.
Thank you for the update.
You're welcome.
All right.